Welcome dear student for HSC online lecture initiative taken by Shet Vidya Mandir, English High School and Junior College of Science and Commerce. I am Miss Ragini Singh, Assistant Lecturer of Biology, and today we are continuing with our chapter Biotechnology. So before beginning, be seated with your book, pen and textbook. Let's recap what we studied in the last module. In the last module, we studied about the transgenic animals, which included this oncomice, Alzheimer mouse, knockout mouse, and even the transgenic cow, that is Rosie, and the transgenic animals which were actually eventually involved in the production of meat and egg for animal research, transgenic fish for protein rich meat, and transgenic cow as bioreactor. In today's module, we will be starting with biopatent. It's a very big umbrella, and why that biopatent is required, we will study that step by step. Initially, we begin with what is bioethics. See, ethics is something which is related to the morals. Ethics usually deals with the matters related to socially acceptable moral duty, conduct and judgment. Very important three words. In other words, it helps to regulate the behavior of community by some set of standards. However, concepts differ according to culture and traditions. Moreover, concepts change with time due to shifting of perception of values which are affected by progress in science and technology. That in today's generation also we can see the things which were there at the long back, now it has changed, the perceptions, the values have changed. Bioethics is something that is we are dealing with the cells, organisms and living things. It helps to study moral vision, decision and policies of human behavior in relation to biological phenomena or events. Ethics deal with life, example in vitro fertilization, sperm bank, gene therapy, cloning, gene manipulations, euthanasia. Euthanasia is what we call it as mercy killing, death maintaining those who are in coma state, prenatal genetic selection, etc. So all these things step by step and one by one is actually involved in the bioethics. Use of animals causes great sufferings to them. Violation of integration of species caused due to transgenesis. Transfer of human genes into animal and vice versa. Indiscriminate use of biotechnology pose risk to the environment, health and biodiversity. Although biotechnology is proving a very boon to this today's generation, but it is also having the drawbacks which we actually cannot neglect it, and we have to keep all those things and then step further. So first one, the effect of biotechnology on the environment. Let's study some disadvantages of this. The very first thing that we will study is the effect of biotechnology on environment. The very first is herbicide use and resistance. Herbicide is nothing but it is basically killing the herbs. Effects on the environment are a particular concern with regard to GMO crops, that is genetically modified, and food production. One area of development involves adding the ability to produce pesticides and resistance to specific herbicides. These traits are helpful in food production, allowing farmer to use fewer chemicals and to grow crops in less than ideal condition. See, biotechnology has played a very important role in directly inserting a particular gene into the DNA of the plant, because of which what happens, the farmers, they are not supposed to use major chemicals, but herbicide use could be increased, which will have a larger negative effect on surrounding environment. Also, unintended hybrid strains of weeds are unwanted plant material, and other plants can develop resistance to these herbicides through cross pollination, thus negating the potential benefit of herbicide. One such herbicide that has already been added is Roundup. Crops of Roundup ready soybeans have already been implemented into agriculture practices, possibly conferring Roundup resistance to the neighboring plant. So this is one of the impact of the biotechnology on the environment. Let's see second one, effect on untargeted species. BT corn which produces its own pesticides, is also in use today. It has adverse effect on monarch butterfly population. Now this monarch butterfly, they are very colorful butterfly and they are actually involved for the pollination purpose, which are not the original target of pesticides. It has also unintentionally effects on neutral or even beneficial species. So these two were the disadvantage of the effect of biotechnology on environment. Next is effects of biotechnology on human health. The very first is allergies. GMO crops could potentially have negative effects on human health as well. Consumers have developed unexpected allergic reactions. Example, researchers used a gene from the Brazil nut to increase the production of methionine in soybeans. The insertion of this gene inadvertently caused allergic reaction to the soybean in those with known nut allergies. That is, we call it as biotic soybeans. Second is long-term effects. Because GMO technology has been available for such a short amount of time, there is relatively little research which has been conducted on the long-term effects on health, which cannot be anticipated at this point. So very first thing of this is on the human health. If you take a recent example of this Kerala side, the researchers, the scientists, they have actually come up with the BT brinjal. They did all the necessary experiments and they proved that it is not going to impact on the human health, but when it came for the time for the public to accept it, they actually seriously rejected it, stating that it is genetically modified and we cannot go for it. Third is the new proteins. Proteins that have never been ingested before by humans are now part of the foods that people consume. Their potential of the effects on the human body are yet unknown, and slowly and steadily, if that protein is not being accepted by the body cells and tissues, of course it is going to produce new diseases. Fourth is food additives. GMOs also present us with possibilities of introducing additional nutrients into foods. If you take the example of the curds that are found in the market, example epigamia and all those things, they have the high content of the proteins, as well as antibiotics and vaccines. This availability of technology can provide nutrition and disease resistance to those countries that do not have means to provide this otherwise. However, there is possibility of the creation of antibiotic and vaccine resistant strains of diseases. This shows that the vast advances in life science and our multicultural and pluralistic modern societies creates numerous bioethical problems requiring some stringent regulation. Of course, just blindly we cannot do anything and we cannot neglect everything. We need to have some very important ethical guidelines. So with respect to that, the Indian government has set up, please take down this full form, very important, Genetic Engineering Approval Committee, that is GAAC, Genetic Engineering Approval Committee. This organization makes decisions regarding the validity of research involving GMOs and addresses the safety of GMOs introduced for public use. Last year there was a question asked on this GEAC, and it was a application based question in which the question was framed as such: suppose there is a farmer who has come with a new variety of the seed. As a scientist, will you give the approval for this? Yes or no, justify your answer. So answer was actually no, and the approval can be given by this Genetic Engineer Approval Committee only. Now, what is this bio-patent? See, patent is something which is actually it's your right and somebody else should not use it. So that is the patent, and bio-patent means patent on the life. Take down the definition, very important. Patent is a special right granted to the inventor by the government. Patent is a personal property of inventor. It can be sold like any other property. A patent consists of three parts: grant, that is agreement with the inventor; specification, that is subject matter of invention; and claims, that is scope of invention to be protected. And this patent is very important in the upbringing of the developing countries also. The bio-patent is a biological patent. They are awarded for strains of microorganisms, cell lines, genetically modified strains, DNA sequences, biotechnological processes, product and product applications. Indian patent allows process patent and not the product patent. Very important point to note. Indian patent actually allows process patent and not the product. It means they want to see the entire procedure, how does it was developed, and not just the final product. Biopatent allows the patent holder to exclude others from making, using, selling or importing product invention for a limited period of time. Duration of biopatent is 5 years. Please mark this point. Duration of the biopatent is 5 years from the date of grant or 7 years from the date of filing the patent application, whichever is less. Now let's see the patent which is basically been manufactured and it is got the right. The first biopatent pertaining to genetically engineering bacteria is Pseudomonas. Its full name is Pseudomonas putida, and it is used for clearing the oil spills when in the oceans, when big ships, especially the rigs, they take the oil tanker, and sometimes due to negligence or due to mistakes the oil is spilled from the tank and it is floating on the entire surface of the water, thus hampering flora and fauna below the water. So, and there is nothing that you can actually remove this. To remove this, to encounter with this problem, there is an organism called Pseudomonas putida and it is called a superbug, as you can see in this diagram. This Pseudomonas putida can degrade hydrocarbons found in the petroleum waste, and it was given under the control of the Plant Gene Expression, as the title was issued jointly to Delta and Pineland Company and US Department of Agriculture. Patent is based on a gene that produces protein toxic to plant, thus do not allow seeds to germinate. However, this patent was not granted by Indian government. Such a patent is considered morally unacceptable and fundamentally unequitable. This is because financially powerful corporations would acquire monopoly over biotechnological process, thus in turn would pose a threat to global food security. Now this superbug, that is Plasmodium, it's a multi-plasmid strain developed by using genetic engineering technique, thus solving a very big problem of the oil spills. Biopiracy. Now this piracy is something to steal, to rob. So these pirates in general term are those who steal and kill others to enrich themselves. Biopirates are those who do not kill but steal the patient, misuse the patent. Biopiracy is defined as theft of various natural products and then selling them by getting patent without giving any benefits or compensation back to host country. In short, it is unauthorized misappropriation of any biological resource and indigenous knowledge. And to your very surprise, this biopiracy, the major countries that is involved is actually the developed country, because the developed countries are rich in the research and technology, but they are not rich in the diversity, and they have been stealing, they have been pirating the traditional knowledge from the developing countries like India. So just go through this para. Most developed, industrialized and financially rich nations are poor in biodiversity or traditional knowledge, whereas developing and underdeveloped nations have ample of biodiversity and they traditionally better know the use of their resources. Traditional knowledge includes deep understanding of ecological process and ability to sustainably extract useful products from local habitat. Most traditional knowledge is handed down through generation. This helps them to develop modern commercial application that saves the maker's time, money and effort. Let's study the first case of this biopiracy, and that is neem Azadirachta indica. Now this Azadirachta indica, if you look at the species name, it is indica. It means it's an Indian origin, and we know that neem has been used in our country since ancient time as antiviral, antifungal as well as antibacterial. But this neem was taken by this US country and they actually extracted some oil which was acting as fungicidal, and they took the patent on their own name. At the end, Indian government came into the picture claiming that the neem is not their origin, it's Indian origin, and they filed a patent against them, and they won the case. So this is something called as the biopiracy. The very first thing that was the Azadirachta indica. Let's see the next case. Next case is the basmati. We all know that basmati is a very aromatic rice, long grained variety of rice indigenous to Indian subcontinent. In 1997, the US Patent and Trademark Office (USPTO) granted a patent to a Texas-based American company Rice-Tech for basmati rice line and grains, having trade name Texmati. Since it was made in Texas, so the name was given as Texmati. The patent application was based on 20 very broad claims on having invented the said rice. Due to people's moving against Rice-Tech in March 2001, the UPSTO has rejected all the claim. So this basmati is actually the Indian origin, and still it was been taken by the American company. They have marked and mapped the entire genome of this basmati, claiming that it's their product, selling in the name of Texmati and earning the money. Again, the Indian government comes into the picture and they have marked it as a Indian patent. Last one, that is haldi, turmeric. Now haldi is so that our grandmother is using, and it is been said to us, if you have a small cut, or you have any of the infection or inflammation, just apply this turmeric. Two American research of Indian origin of the University of Mississippi Medical Center put a claim to US Patent and Trademark Office, maintaining that they had discovered haldi's healing properties. Now this is very surprising. Surprisingly, they were granted a patent in 1995 March for something you had known for years in our Ayurvedas for centuries. It means they had exclusively rights over any such haldi drug and were in a position to make millions of dollars. Now the CSIR, that is the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, applied to the US Patent Office for a re-examination, and they realized the mistake and cancelled the patent. Otherwise it's our origin and they would have been making the money out of it. This was after Indian scientists shouted from the rooftops about how we are losing our traditional knowledge to foreign companies who have started poaching and our ancient healing techniques. India is actually blessed with lot of diversity. Simple things and small things that has been surrounding us. If you take the example of a marigold flower, that is been used in all traditional pujas and ethnic relation, that marigold flower called as tegmets has excellent healing property. It's a very good medicine for the skin ailment, and the foreign countries are taking and they are making that ointments and selling and making the profit out of it. So this is what we call it as biopiracy, where biopatent comes into a very important roles, and this biopatent is actually as a career also it's a very good option, because in that you are acting as a lawyer. You need to study everything related to the law. Let's understand. Define biopatent. Write down the answer of this. Define biopatent. Second question, name the organism used to clear the oil spills, and what is biopiracy. Take your time, pause the video, write the answers and then check your answers. Patent is a special right granted to the inventor by the government. Patent is a personal property of inventor. Name the organisms used to clear oil spills. Answer is Pseudomonas putida. What is biopiracy? Biopiracy is defined as theft of various natural products and then selling them by getting patent without giving any benefits or compensation back to host country. Next question, name the first transgenic cow, and it is Rosie. What does GEAC stands for? Very important, and the answer is Genetic Engineering Approval Committee. What is bioethics? Ethics usually deals with the matters related to socially acceptable moral duty, conduct and judgment. Take down your assignment. You will write a note on biopatent and biopiracy. You will refer your 12th standard textbook. I hope this module was very clear to you all. Thank you for understanding this module and attending this module. We'll again come back with the new module of the new chapter as this chapter is completed over here. Thank you.